This is MBR Today. The battle for paid TV subscribers is heating up, with Sky TV announcing it will drop its high-definition fee and Spark entering the fray with its new sport offering. Sky is set to drop the $9.99 fee for high-definition viewing from the beginning of April. But that announcement has been largely overshadowed by Spark, which intends to launch Spark Sport in early March for $19.99 a month with no long-term contract. The announcement comes as a blow to Sky TV, which reported a $12.9 million drop in net profit for the 6 months to December 31, as it continues to bleed subscribers. Spark, meanwhile, says its agile working model is paying off, despite reporting half-year net profit of $153 million. That's down 5.6% on the previous 6 months. I spoke to Sky TV Chief Executive John Follett about how Sky continues to operate in a highly competitive and evolving market.
The industry's gone through these cycles before the global financial crisis 10 years ago now, I guess. We saw the same sort of explosion on content costs, and then there was a shakeout of the industry, and prices came back down. So this is the normal boom bust of content wars.
A medicinal marijuana company director has stepped down after details of an online group conversation were leaked. Fern Medicinal Marijuana's Tim Johnson discussed grower strains and valuing cannabis IP to pump up Fern's books and make investors feel better, like Fern is a company of substance. Shareholder John Hussey says the comments were related to IP and genetics, none of which were included in its information memorandum, which was used for a $1.8 million crowdfund that closed on Friday. While Mr. Johnson removed himself from his role and none of the figures discussed made their way into the information memorandum, the situation has once again prompted criticism over what information is given to investors in crowdfunding campaigns. Well, besides Spark and Sky, other results were out today during the busy results season. Fletcher Building has delivered on the promises from its November annual meeting, with the resumption of dividends and a half-year profit slightly better than guidance. Net profit for the 6 months to December was $89 million, up from a loss of $273 million for the same period a year earlier. Meridian Energy's first half profit after tax was up almost 40%, helped by favourable hydro conditions. New Zealand's largest electricity generator saw its earnings for the 6 months to December 31 increase 18% to $389 million. Sales continue to soar for A2 milk as its market share in China grew to 5.7% and its fresh milk gained traction in the US. The stock responded to the positive news in A2's half-year result, rising 8% in early trading and valuing the company at $10.26 billion. Net profit for the 6 months to December was $152.7 million. That's up 55% from the same period a year earlier. EBOS Group says it's considering a move into China for its branded Black Hawk premium pet food, which recorded 23% revenue growth in Australia and New Zealand during the first half. Revenue dropped slightly to 3.5 billion Australian, while statutory profit also dipped to 67 million Australian. And Kiwibank has regained its momentum on the back of 1.2 billion growth in deposits and 1 billion in lending for the 6 months to the December 2018 year end. The bank's net profit after tax for the half year ending December 31, 2018 was 64 million, up from 42 million for the same period in 2017. The Electricity Price Review Panel is backing vertically integrated generator retailer companies, saying they should not be broken up. Instead, it says there are other steps that can be taken to ensure more competitive pricing in the electricity industry. It's just released an options paper for discussion before it makes its final recommendations to the government by the middle of the year. Some submissions to the review promoted breaking up vertically integrated companies, but others argued vertical integration made risk management more efficient, and this benefit would be lost if generator retailers were forced to split. A new independent infrastructure commission is expected to be up and running by October this year. The New Zealand Infrastructure Commission, Te Waihanga, will be established as an autonomous Crown entity responsible for the strategy and planning around infrastructure investments, as well as procurement and delivery support. Infrastructure Minister Shane Jones says while government ministers will have the final responsibility for deciding on infrastructure investments, the Commission would have an independent board and the autonomy to to provide robust and impartial advice. And so too tomorrow we go. Kiwibank CEO Steve Jurkovic talks about the regulatory challenges ahead for Kiwi banks. For more on that and other stories, head to our website. Enjoy your evening.
To unlock your 2 free articles a week, head to nbr.co.nz.